again. Good afternoon. It's so good to see some old friends here, and I'm so gladly to be part of my friend Tomasz Pala's seminar again for the second year. I hope my part can be good in the whole session and can be helpful. So my name is Willy Liu from China. I have been serving Czech clients for, I think, more than 15 years in China, and a lot of remarkable Czech brands are grown very rapidly through us, and we have witnessed some good Czech companies' successes in Chinese market. And I hope today we can give you some more valuable inputs to support your future moves in Chinese market. So talking about China, I think right now in the recent years between two countries, especially for your very respectable President Mr. Zeman visited China very proactively, and also our President Mr. Xi visited the Czech Republic last year, and it's like a hot wave investment and business connections between both countries. I would like to say right now more and more Czech clients and companies, they would love to enter or penetrate Chinese market through different ways or channels, and also under the new country strategy of One Belt, One Road proposed by our new president, Mr. Xi. More and more Chinese companies also have strong interest in entering EU markets through Czech Republic, because in their eyes, Czech Republic is like a very good breakthrough point or step forward to the whole EU market for sure. Here you have very good investment environment, very well educated employees, very good culture, and attractive views in Prague and other cities in whole Czech Republic. So let's start for some detailed inputs right now. So when we are talking about China, so China is a huge country, huge market, and a lot of business opportunities. So we can summarize a little bit like we are a big market, but it's not a very simple market, because from the perspective of the legal side, you will see that we have China Mainland, which I from Shanghai area, and we also have Hong Kong, the ex-colony of UK. We also have Macau, ex-colony of Portugal, and also Taiwan now is still pending. So it's different market, different people, different mentality. So you cannot say you can use the same rule or same approach to do business in whole China, in each corner of China, always very smoothly in the same way. So it's not very simple. And secondly, I would like to say China is a very, very competitive market with fierce competitions. And maybe you have already heard about Google. Now I think everybody knows Google, but Google has not been staying in China for a long while, because we have our Baidu, and Baidu is supported strongly a lot from the different parties in China, and right now Google is thinking about to come back to Chinese market through different approaches, but still moves very slowly due to some special reasons. I'm not saying that our market is not in order, but it's really some special game playing roles, and need to be more patient and need to be more sophisticated thinking and scenarios. And of course, we are a very attractive market. Everybody wants to get some growth from this huge market, from Chinese market. And I and my team and me already witnessed a lot of success from the EU companies, not only from Czech Republic, but also for Germany, from Spain, from Switzerland, blah, blah, blah. I can see different companies have different experience and different stories. Always something like on the basis of case by case. It's not so easy, to be honest. It's really, really very big challenges there for everybody, even for us. So I should say Chinese market is full of opportunities. Whatever you are a big company, you are small scale, you are like just startups, or you are just already very huge in Czech Republic. But this market is full of challenges and changes. And lastly, I would like to say Chinese market is like a very dynamic market, and but still, I should say, till now, by this moment, till this second, still not very, very open in my eyes. Because for foreign investments, we have our so-called guidance or catalog to attract foreign investments from different countries. So you can be following to encourage type or allowed type or forbidden type. For instance, for my industry, by now, I don't think the foreign, like Czech lawyer, is able to do legal litigations in China, because this is something like a prohibited area. It's not allowed by our government approved authorities, like Chinese medicine, like some special weapon, or I should say, more and more fields or in investment areas have been opened step by step or little by more foreign investors in China. They say they amended or revised this kind of catalog step by step, but it's better, but still not completely open. So talking about Czech companies in Chinese market, as I just mentioned several minutes ago, it's like hot waves, and China is becoming hotter and hotter in more and more Czech companies' eyes. But the point is, sometimes the hot destination does not mean that you will be definitely successful over there. So it means that I received a lot of Czech people or Czech friends, they have some requests that, okay, really, we have very good product. It should be definitely okay, and we can make quick money in Chinese market because it's so simple. We already made a lot of money in EU or in Czech Republic. It proves that we are very successful, so we can copy this kind of success model in Chinese market for sure. Just we go ahead like Nike's ads, just do it. But the point is, when you move to China, it's different world, different people, different mentality, different unexpected obstacles. So sometimes I should say, in China, you need a very special approach, or you need to know more before officially penetrating this market. Like we have our, maybe Mr. Alan Shelinka already mentioned before, maybe like we have our guanxi, like connections or relationships, means that this is the normal way or the main behavior connections between people and people. You should make friends in this way by drinking some liquid, should be very strong, and a lot of contracts should be concluded and signed after big party and in a round table after a lot of strong alcohol. Then okay, it's time to conclude our agreement. Everybody will be happy, like happy ending, so happy. But so what? After 1 week, maybe you have some problem on how to perform, how to enforce your signed contract. So it means that you need time to know what kind of people, how they are thinking, and you need to design something in advance. You need to listen more, to watch more, to observe more. And especially according to our experience, because as far as I know, if I'm wrong, please correct me freely. For compared to German clients, Czech companies are, the size a little bit like small and medium companies, most of them. So they may have already achieved a lot of successes in Czech market before, and here the credit for the people, for the company, is really well respected, and nobody wants to be the dirty mind guy, to be the copycat, to infringe your legislated rights, freely. But in China, we have some special professionals who is making a lot of money in this regard. Means that compared to American company, for example, they want to move to China and to China market to make more money in year 2017. Maybe in year 1997, 20 years ago, they already well protected their trademark, patent rights in place. So it means that the next problem is just a question of time when we will enter this market. We have already put everything in order, in place. Unfortunately, compared to American companies, a lot of European companies did very bad in this regard, to be honest. Not only Czech companies, even some German companies also made the same stupid mistakes. And I even heard about some companies, I mean small companies, but I'm not complaining, but I would like to use this example to stress that this is really important. You have to think about it and do something in advance. Even some clients told me, okay, Willie, we like your country. We want to make more money together with strong and solid team work with you in your country, blah, blah, blah. But the point is, right now, in our pocket, we have not too much money. We need to make the first basket of gold in advance or as soon as possible. Then we will consider to protect our trademark, to conclude some good contracts with our local partner, blah, blah, blah. So how? My answer is very promptly. My dear friend, how to make it in this way? Because here is like a lot of people are focusing on you if you're exposed in some international fairs and exchange your name card with Willie Liu, with some other guys. Maybe Willie Liu is okay. Maybe another Willie Li or Willie Xu is a dirty mind guy who wants to grab your brands immediately after the fair. And then without brands, you're nothing here. So it means that sometimes you should dare to invest and be more brave to do something to safeguard your interests for sure. And another situation I want to emphasize is sometimes you visit China, you met some good guys as your potential business partner, and you already conclude agreement like a cooperation agreement, and we'll go ahead with some real business. Everything's happy and will be running very happily, looks like that. But later on, you will see that you have your own idea or strategy, how to use, how to employ, and how to improve your goodwill, your reputation, your brand, your patent, whatever. However, your Chinese partner, their aim may be only to make more money. Okay? If both parties want to make money, but you want to make money, meanwhile you want to make your brand more brilliant, more shining, and for long-term cooperation in Chinese market. But to be honest, for the Chinese partner, it's not my brand, it's your brand. I just use your brand to make money together with you and share some profits together with you. Who cares? They will maybe will put some posters or ads or in some other ways in some very low levels, like near some street. So this is not so good. It's like abuse or like dilute your brand value. So I should say, selecting your partner is very important, and how to control the following operation is also very, very important. Another point is also to be noted is not only for IP part, but also for all business deals should be concluded in written in advance, and to make sure that this kind of written agreement should be enforceable thereafter. I mean, this kind of legal arrangement should be put into some necessary clause, like if you have different disputes, how to resolve the disputes. If you choose this resolution for disputes, how to choose, what kind of resolution can be in your favor. If you choose this kind of resolution, how to make this resolution can be more beautiful or more favorable in your side. So a lot of skillful points need to be addressed in advance. Let's talk about if you have already witnessed some Czech companies already made some good business in China. Yes, I have very positive answer to all of you because we have served many Czech clients, and clients are different. Some clients are very smart, very fast move, and very always made very wise and informed choices or decisions. So they did very good homework before officially come to China, and they put everything in order and in good place. So they go there, they ask me and my team very politely and very properly in advance for each major or important moves, business moves in Chinese market. Then, to make sure that from the legal perspective, it's okay, it's safe, and even more, predictable. So they go ahead. So it means that I want to share with you some tips from this kind of successful Czech companies that you should try to see from this kind of Czech companies why they are successful. I can summarize some points that like understanding well where you are and where your customers are, because as I mentioned, in China it's a huge market. Your client is like a mass market, like water, everybody wants to drink, or you just very specific, you're just selling piano for some special, well-educated and very limited field. And also where, like your clients, normally they are located in coastal areas, or I don't think you can sell a lot in Tibet or in Mongolia, because right now there are different levels of living standard or conditions. So second one is try to make the informed and fast decision, because right now every second in China we have a lot of changes. Like I can give you a very good example is one Czech good friends recommend me, okay Willie, you see right now our president already visited your country and drink beer together with Mr. Xi in Prague, and like this, the photo has been published in the newspaper of China very widely. Now everybody knows that Czech beer is very good quality, better than German beer. So therefore, we want to open a Czech beer restaurant in China, also like some Czech beer brewery together with this kind of function. Good idea, fantastic. Then I replied, okay, so how we can go on? Well, we can go on. I can find a good location for you. I can find a good investor in China. I can find a good people who are very specialized in promotion, and try to find some regular clients for you in China. Because China is big, we can try to select which city, first-time city or small city, but very rich, blah, blah, blah. And you have know-how. You have good chef, you have good food raw materials, you can make a good decoration, or even in the future, franchising chains. The same logo, same image, same service qualities, same clothes, blah, 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 same uniform, sorry. So later on, okay, we had a very nice and exciting chatting during the dinner. I still remember in that restaurant, they have very good beef tartare and Czech beer. And later on, the conclusion is, sorry, Willie, we do not want to invest anything. We just want to invest our know-how for brewing the beer. And maybe we can send out some expatriate, like some nice, beautiful girl or nice, handsome young boy to be waiter or manager to join the team in China, in the newly opened Chinese restaurant, beer restaurant. So later on, I suddenly feel that I was lost, because how can you cooperate with Chinese partners? You can only invest such a very, very small investment, let's say. Please allow me to describe in this way, because the Chinese partners will think that, oh, you don't want to invest this one, you don't want to invest. You just try to test water and to see if the business is not good, you want to disappear. Okay. So this is like something like immediate impression will come into the mind of the local potential Chinese partners. Means that good idea, you should not dare to invest. You should also make fast and informed decision. Okay. And another point is adjust and react to the market change in a more flexible and down-to-earth way. Why? Because we have our Chinese, for example, we have our Chinese Facebook, like WeChat. My friend Ali Chavinga use it, me use it. So we use it to communicate each other very often. So apart from the personal or private use, a lot of companies like Nike, Adidas, they use it to register some public account of WeChat to do more promotions in China, because this is exclusive effect for business promotion for sure. Means that in Czech Republic, in Europe, I know you have WhatsApp, you have Facebook, you have different social medias. But if you want to do business with China, if you want to make your business expanded in a fast way, so the new social media WeChat promotion is really necessary. So it means that if other competitors of your business, they are using WeChat to do some promotion, and you still just stick to the very traditional way, pay to the TV, to the newspaper. No, too slowly, because everybody in China, they check WeChat from time to time. It's very often. Even some people cannot have the normal life without checking WeChat. I mean, very often, every day, every moment even. Okay, another point is try to communicate with the very important party, because if you want to do business in a fresh and new country, you need a partner for sure, okay? And you need to get in touch with the local authority, different authorities, get some approvals or special qualification. You need a local partner to support you because they have no language barrier. They can help you to facilitate the business meeting, to promote. And you also need to maybe to cooperate with your foreign partners to do some business promotion in Chinese market together. So please be active in communicating from time to time with them, because this is very important to show that you are really care about your partners and the Chinese market, and people will know through this kind of proactive communications how to support you, how to help you, how to make a better teamwork together with you and share the much more profits and share the future together with you. And last very important point is, as I mentioned, very, very often in Czech Republic, in front of a lot of Czech clients, brand, or let's say trademark right, is everything. Just this morning, I just finished a meeting with a very famous Czech brand. I met their chairman and exportation manager just nearby the Czech restaurant. We had nice coffee. Why? Because they have a big problem in China right now for their products. Maybe I should say, according to our preliminary investigation, it should be a Chinese guy who is living in Czech Republic, maybe also Austria, because according to his passport address, he registered this very famous Czech brand in China in year 2012. Now already 5 years passed. So the chairman now has a big headache, because this guy is very tricky. He copied the name and created a nice Chinese name together and registered in the core class, let's say class 14 for jewelries. So let's talk about Czech market. You have very famous Czech glass, art glass. Okay, you have very good, beer. You have very good granite. You have a lot of good technology like nano, blah blah. So it means that for this kind of field are heavily focused by some copycat. And as I mentioned, Czech companies are not very huge. Sometimes most of them are small and medium enterprises. So without brand, the brand is your most important intangible asset. You have goodwill, you have domain names, you have reputation, but how to prove, how to reflect this kind of, how to make yourself to be distinguished with your competitors, or with different brands. Only trademark rights, only brand can be the core or maybe the very important sign for your company to show in Chinese market. So from this viewpoint, I should say, right now, this company is really, really big headache, and their boss cannot sleep very well. Problem in China, like success, some companies have got success in China. Meanwhile, some companies, they are not so lucky. They have some problem in China according to our experience. Means that I can give you some hints, like just came into my mind is like some companies are still okay, China, big country, but too far away. Flying there more than 10 hours. Too tired. It's good, but how to control, how to run a business in the future. When I think about China, it's good, but when I think further how to do business in China, oh, it's a big mess. So too messy for me. So I will wait. Maybe later on will be better. And then some of them even, okay, I have some plan. Even I have some detailed action plan, but I need to be more prudent, more serious, more careful. Maybe after a few days, so I can get my life easier in Chinese market. So it's very slow moves. It's okay, well respected. Everybody has its own mind and decision, well respected. But the point is how to improve it. And then, as I mentioned, reluctant in necessary band protection. And second one, and the next one is language barrier. Of course, I also heard about right now in Czech Republic, more and more young generations, they would love to learn Chinese language due to different reasons. Maybe due to China is becoming bigger and bigger business scale. Just follow up America very closely. Maybe we will surpass America very soon. Means that China is the future of the world in the future, blah, blah, blah. So due to different reasons, but it's good. But English speaking is totally okay in China. I mean, in some major cities, I should say. So do not be afraid of that. I'm not able to speak Chinese. I'm not able to communicate with Chinese partners. Yes, of course, if you can understand and speak Chinese language, that will be perfect. It's really perfect for your business. But if you are not able to speak Chinese or use Chinese language, it's also okay. If you can use English very fluently, no problem, I should say. Mentality obstacle, this is very important because while we have interacting cultural or some other kinds of channels for communicating between different countries because people are different. The way of thinking, the way of doing, mentalities and traditional conceptions, blah, blah, blah. So how to overcome? I'm not saying that we should overcome the problem for mentalities, obstacles immediately. I'm just saying that try to understand each other. Czech people have Czech people's the way of thinking. Chinese people also have the unique ways of Chinese people's thinking ways. So when you go there, meet people, shake hands, eyes to eyes, face to face, and later on you will see, okay, it's easy. It's not like that complicated. Because people always can understand each other and can be on the same page if you talk if you discuss the things in a normal way. Why not? The next one is quick money without reasonable investment. I just mentioned it. So try to avoid to do business in this way. It's really, really not okay. And without long-term plan, yes. A lot of people want to go to China. I mean, not only Czech friends or Czech customers, Czech companies, but also other European companies. They also have this similar problem. They just want to go there, attend to some fair, exchange name cards, to see, to smell some good flavor for my business. Is it good? If not good, okay, think about some other things different. If it's good, it look okay. But the point is, if I'm a Czech company's owner, I will think about, okay, what is my unique selling point if I want to make business or sell products in Chinese market? Okay, currently in Chinese market, in my industry or product industry, are there very, very big or strong competitors already, or I have to overcome more potential risks or problems? So do some preliminary or very short homework in advance, and it's not very time consuming or that complicated. You have Czech Trade can support you very strongly. They have their strong team. It has proved very workable through these years, and also you have problems, especially legal side. You can also approach us. So it means that you have different ways. You have a lot of choices to avoid some unexpected problems, okay, to overcome your personal fear. And no necessary investment before making acceptable money. I already mentioned it as well, because why I wrote this point here, because I met some of them, not a lot, at least I think 10 or 15 more roughly this year during my service with Czech clients. They have this kind of problem. How to overcome the odds? So I think, as I mentioned, to try to look into the Chinese market in depth before entering this market officially, and try to do some tailor-made approaches, okay, and try to respond to the market demands in your ways. I think different people, different industry players definitely have different business goals, and in that huge market, because it's too big, so definitely you can find some opportunity for your company or for your business, for sure. And most importantly, in our country, I always discuss with our local, domestic Chinese clients, also with our Czech clients as well. Never ever put the eggs in one basket for your business. It's also the same way. Means that if you have only one business plan to penetrate the Chinese market, sometimes it's workable, it's feasible, it's okay. But sometimes you have a lot of problems, you have a lot of unexpected situations. So better have plan B, C, or D, okay? So like we watch some NBA games, so the coach always meets some different problem, which the game is not proceeded as his plan. And be ready for changes. I should say in China, changes, happens every moment, every second. So try to have some fresh thoughts and try to get some fresh news from the local media, from other business partner. Try to say, oh, this is good for me as well, or this is not good. Can I try to use it to be more beneficial for my business, or it's just some phenomenon and will be disappeared very quickly? So I think should keep watching and keep listening, try to get something new, which is very favorable in your business. Okay, also like when we're talking about branding is everything. So it means that some company only has one brand. Some companies maybe have some different umbrella, different sections, different brands. So if you do big business in China, I do propose you will use only your core brand or umbrella brand in China, or you will use different brands step by step, little by little, or in the meanwhile in Chinese market. So being the decision maker, you make decision and you determine the future of your business in Chinese market. Sorry, this is maybe a little bit funny, but I try to use the description in this way. When you have found your Chinese partnership, means Chinese lovers, is that sometimes you have to do business together with your Chinese partners. Why? Because, as I mentioned, in some special categories, it's not allowed you do some like a woofing, or you do business by yourself at your own. So you have to cooperate with some Chinese lovers, means that, let's say, Chinese blood and milk. I suppose it's Czech husband and Chinese girlfriend. And when you fall in love with your Chinese lovers, and sooner or later, you will get into marriage if everything goes on very well. Okay, and in this case, you need a very nice contract. Okay, why? Because it's marriage, it's very serious. You need to define the marriage for both parties, for rights and obligations very clearly. Otherwise, in the future, if you have any disputes, how to resolve the disputes? It means that being the husband, you should keep very good business running in China. Then you can have keep your own specific charming in front of your Chinese wife. Means that, say, be healthy after living together under the same roof. Means that the business should be run very good and better. Otherwise, being your Chinese wife will think along, oh, why I need to marry with you? Why I need to, live together with you? Being together means that I should have some good, better life. If the life is not better and better, so maybe it's time for me to think about to leave. Okay. Another point is be a good boy. Means that being the Czech husband, try to be loyalty, should be loyalty to your Chinese wife, okay? And to do business together, okay? Respect your Chinese partner and try to move forward, step forward together and try to make your family stronger and have a brighter future. For the business, the same way, okay? If today you like your wife, you love your wife so much, tomorrow you go to some club to have with other Chinese partners, this is not good. This is not good for the long-term business operation. Last point is, it's very funny, it's the Chinese conception, no green hat. Means that you should also keep an eye on your partner, business partner, Chinese partner. Do not let your Chinese wife to be in connection with other gentlemen, okay, in China, and because she's very important for you. Without her, you cannot do business alone in China. Only you both together in the same boat, you can have a very bright future. Sorry, maybe it's a little bit stupid, but I think it's easy to make you understand what I want to say. And let's talk about something very shortly about if in your family, on the same roof, sometimes a little bit of quarreling, and the husband and the wife has some disputes on how to feed the baby, how to decorate, how to build the house, or how to select the future education, something like. Means that you have disputes. If you have disputes, how to get it resolved? The regular way in China, we should say, the best way, mediation is very peaceful, and everybody will be calm down. We just talk, okay? If you are very emotional, okay, calm down. Drink some water, coffee, later on we talk. So mediation, then later on happy ending. This is the best way. But sometimes, some people are very, very big problem. You cannot get it resolved by the normal mediation. So only fight. So how to fight? Arbitration or litigation? I think the similar here because we are the similar legal system. Arbitration, being the business disputes, I do strongly propose arbitration because arbitration has a lot of advantages according to our experience. Also because litigation has some disadvantages according to our experience. I will tell you a little bit. Like arbitration, because in China, arbitration, what kind of arbitration commission or organization you choose, according to our arbitration law, only one time arbitration. You cannot, like your president, I do not want to speak here, only one time, okay? So you cannot say, okay, no, I want second time. No second time pray, okay? And secondly is confidential. Because compared to the litigation, only for some specific cases, okay, like rape cases or some other cases, can be closed, the court hearing. Normally the court should be open to the public, but arbitration is like closed, okay, only the related party and the arbitration tribunal or the sole arbitrator can be involved in your specific case, so it's very confidential. No worries on releasing your business secrets. And the next one is sometimes the arbitration award, let's say the decision made by the tribunal or arbitrator can be more objective compared to the court. Because the court can be influenced for different, different impacts from different parties. Due to some special reason, I do not want to speak too much here because it's complicated, the Chinese realities, because the court and the judge, sometimes they are Communist Party. The Communist Party, the level is a little bit lower than the municipal city, like a mayor or director of the city, Communist Party, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes maybe a call, maybe some reasons. So the judge will be influenced to some degree, but the arbitration tribunal is much better in this way. And also more flexible procedures. The court, first instance, if you are not okay, you can have second instance. But arbitration, just one time, as I mentioned, and also, if you do not think it's okay, you want to get more proofs or evidence gathering, okay, stop here. We can rehearing again later on, as long as both parties can confirm, okay, when can be a good time, we restart again. That's okay. And most importantly, you cannot use English in the local Chinese court, always Chinese, because it reflects our authorities, respect. You should show respect to the authority according to our law. But in arbitration procedures, you can select English. So this is much better for foreign clients. For Czech clients, I think the same. And you can use English and just exclude Chinese speaking, and everybody should use English. So this is good. At least you can understand very well. And most importantly, some arbitrators like CTAC, like Hong Kong International Arbitration Center and Singapore International Arbitration Center, they are very, very well educated arbitrators and very, very experienced, and also higher level, very internationalized. And then like a quick procedure. So if the litigation, it can be 6 months normally, or second instance at least 3 months. So it means that if you have baby, your baby has been from kindergarten to the primary school, but your case is still over there. Nothing happened. So it means that arbitration can be much, much more better. If we really have some cases, like arbitration cases, how to win, how to be the final winner, I think I have some special tips for you. One point is try to well document the contract. I mean, you have business with your Chinese partners. As I mentioned, you should conclude the contract, not only orally, okay, in written. And this kind of contract should definitely include the arbitration clause. If you do not mention that very clearly, they are in that, okay, if we have any disputes, we will refer to CTAC Beijing or Shenzhen or Hong Kong International Arbitration Center, blah, blah, blah. No, this is not so good. Later on, unless you both parties can conclude again, otherwise you have to refer to the special court. So arbitration clause in the contract should be the big precondition for the future arbitration activities. And then should be, for the evidence gathering, should be very, very, should be proceeded very, very smart, in a very, very smart way. Means that we want to fix or want to make it more legalized way, you should try to invite some notary office employees to fix your evidences together with you, okay, in some specific cases. And then try to respond to the arbitration tribunal in a more speedy way if they have any questions or if they have any request. Because this is very important for you to leave some good impressions in the arbitrator's eyes, and you pay enough respect to them, and then the arbitration tribunal will, think about how to support you, how to have more healthy mutual interactions with you. Sometimes during this kind of arbitration cases, so the arbitrator maybe will write something that you can negotiate before the arbitrator makes the final decision, give you a chance to negotiate, to discuss if you can make some peaceful and acceptable decision by yourself. So this is also very, very important. Try to make full use of this kind of opportunities, because if you can make a decision together with other party in front of the arbitration tribunal, means that before making the final decision, you already win the case to some degree. Because if you make the negotiation with another party, means that another party accepts your negotiation proposal, finally, according to our experience, it's much better than you receive the final arbitration award from the tribunal, because sometimes the final arbitration decision or award is not too much in your favor. And on the contrary, before making this kind of arbitration award, during the negotiation steps, you can get much more than the final award. And then try to keep effective communicating with the parties. This is the same way. And then try to compromise. This compromise is very, very important strategy to be the final winner. Okay, the last point is I want to emphasize again for the IPR. IPR is really the trigger for your business in Chinese market. As I mentioned, try to get some good tips from American companies doing ways and try to protect your IP rights. I mean, including, but not limited to trademark, domain names, patent, and even some other related name like copyright, like some unfair competition, some know-how, blah, blah, blah. As long as it can be protected under existing Chinese laws, try to do that. As far as I know, for Czech companies, by now, the main IP right is still the trademark, and sometimes also domain names. For patents, not too much, not too often. And for know-how, yes, but Czech companies never want to release or do business with Chinese companies by exchanging their know-how, like the Czech art glass, because you have your unique know-how on producing the Czech art glass, very beautiful, very elegant. A lot of Chinese companies who are very active in crystal industry, they want to cooperate with Czech art glass or crystal producers here. But till now, as far as I know, they do not want to release their know-how too much. And most importantly, if you have been involved in some cases and you already, you already show your kindness to your local parties or another parties, you already use up your kindness. So no problem. Be brave to fight, because without fighting, maybe you will not see that the final result should be in your favor. And most importantly, when you protect your trademark in China, I should also remind you, like I said, the e-shop by WeChat or by internet is very important. And the e-shop selling or internet selling is in category 35 for the training class. You should cover it. Whatever you only produce you only produce some special products, or you only provide some services. Always cover this kind of training classes. It's very good for you. And the last point is try to store, accumulate, and polish from time to time for your IP use right commercially. Means that when you really encounter some disputes in China for trademark, for patent, and you have to prove that you are the real IP right holder, how to prove? So the evidences you stored before, you keep on, polishing. In your ways, at that time should be very, very useful. So this is really, really important. According to my experience, a lot of Czech companies have suffered a lot before in this regard. So I think this is all what I can contribute to you today. I hope it's constructive and you can be helpful for your future operations in Chinese market. Thank you very much.